We are joined in the studio today by Oren Schlein, who is the head of the UNICEF Seoul Liaison Office here in Korea. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell us what UNICEF does?
Absolutely. So we're a child rights organization. We were established in the aftermath of the Second World War to support all children everywhere, to protect them, to promote their rights, both in developing country contexts and humanitarian contexts as well. We provide a lot of assistance. We have a presence in over 190 countries around the world.
That's amazing. And what are some of the latest initiatives of UNICEF worldwide and here in Korea?
That's a great question. You know, when you think about what UNICEF does, you really need to look at the challenges that we're facing in the world today. And for the past couple of years or so, we've really been speaking about the 3 C's, the challenges of climate, COVID, and conflict. But aside from all of that, we also do a lot of work in a broader health space. In the education space, we look at nutrition issues of water and sanitation and hygiene, child protection, making sure that children are protected against violence and any form of exploitation. And I'd say the other really important thing is that we're very committed to gender issues and really kind of ensuring that children do not face unnecessary discrimination.
Yeah.
So a lot of work in a lot of countries across a lot of issues.
Can you tell us about how UNICEF are involved in scouting to achieve the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals?
Another great question. A very relevant question, I would say. Well, you know, we're both very old organizations. If I'm not mistaken, the Scouts organization is a bit older than UNICEF. It's actually quite interesting because there's a lot of collaboration that we do at a global level. But I would say in many, many countries, if not most countries, there's some sort of engagement between UNICEF offices and the Scouts movement. We're both committed to the SDGs, obviously.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you look back over the last few years, I would say 2 of our biggest kind of partnerships are the collaboration that we've had in response to the Ukraine conflict and supporting women and children refugees in particular.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of work there and reached thousands upon thousands of refugees, looking at issues of, again, health and nutrition and education and protection. And I think that that's a wonderful example of how, in the face of a very specific conflict, we can come together as organizations to really support the same people that our organizations are there to work with and for. At last count, I believe we're partnering either formally or informally in at least a dozen countries in East and Southern Africa and at least 8 countries in West and Central Africa. Again, engaging adolescents in particular around issues of nutrition and education and climate, naturally.
Yeah.
There's also very strong collaboration in Asia and in other regions as well.
Thank you for that. And how can young people, especially Scouts, help create a more peaceful and just and sustainable future?
Yeah, well, you know, I think it's about finding your voice. And, you know, we say this to children and youth all the time. I mean, children are the future at the end of the day. And it's important to make sure that our leaders hear the voice of the younger generation, to make sure that you're able to influence policy change, that national budgets are pro-children, so that, you know, whether we're looking at issues of education or health or protection, that the funding actually is there to support them. But other activities, you can just get engaged at the community level. And this is where I think the connection with the Scout movement, which is fundamentally a community-based organization, is fundamental. And there's a lot that we can do there. So to engage leaders at that local level, you know, undertake fundraising drives, undertake, you know, joint public awareness drives. There's a lot that we can do.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Dream Hub studio today. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks very much for your time. Great.